Recent incidents have caused the department to perform a critical evaluation of its policy relating to the shooting at or from moving vehicles. The policy was revised to read as follows: Firearms shall not be discharged at a moving vehicle unless a person in the vehicle is immediately threatening the officer or another person with deadly force by means other than the vehicle. The moving vehicle itself shall not presumptively constitute a threat that justifies an officer's use of deadly force. An officer threatened by an oncoming vehicle shall move out of its path instead of discharging a firearm at it or any of its occupants. The risks of shooting at suspects in moving vehicles often outweigh the actual threat posed by the suspect's actions, because bullets fired at moving vehicles are extremely unlikely to stop or disable them. Also, bullets fired may miss the intended target or ricochet and cause injury to other officers or bystanders. Additionally, if the driver is hit, the vehicle may crash and cause injury to other officers or bystanders. It is understood that this policy may not cover every situation which may arise. This is due to the unpredictable responses of the vehicle's driver and occupants. As with any tactical situation, officers must have a basic plan which can evolve as the situation unfolds. However, this plan cannot be based on assumptions, but on the totality of the circumstances. The mere backing of a vehicle by the suspect cannot be assumed to be life-threatening. Statistics have shown that the prudent action for officers in these situations is to redeploy and seek cover. Where an officer redeploys will be dictated by the suspect's actions, traffic conditions, and available cover. Officers shall not use lethal force to protect themselves from assaults which are not likely to have serious results. If coupled with a driver's intent to harm the officer through words or actions, and the officer is unable to get out of the way, the officer can use lethal force. The involved officer must be able to articulate clearly the reasons for the use of lethal force. Factors that may be considered include whether the officer's life or the lives of others were in immediate peril and there was no reasonable or apparent means of escape. The Department's lethal force policy remains in effect and authorizes officers to use lethal force to protect themselves or others from immediate threat of death or serious injury. However, lethal force shall only be exercised when all reasonable alternatives have been exhausted or appear impractical. In other words, as a last resort. If a suspect is shooting at an officer from a moving car, the officer is in immediate peril and can use lethal force. The same risks that apply to shooting at a moving vehicle also apply to shooting from a moving vehicle. Bullets fired at moving vehicles are extremely unlikely to stop or disable them. Bullets fired may miss the intended target or ricochet and cause injury to other officers or bystanders. If the driver is hit, the vehicle may crash and cause injury to other officers or bystanders. Additionally, a moving police vehicle does not provide a stable shooting platform. Firearms shall not be discharged from a moving vehicle except in exigent circumstances and in the immediate defense of life.
Put yourself into the following situation. A vehicle occupied by persons wanted in connection with a robbery is bearing down at you at 60 miles per hour. Although you have no way to read the operator's mind, he is, in fact, willing to kill you or anybody else to get away. Consider your options. You can jump out of the path of the vehicle, or you can draw your firearm, assume a combat shooting position, and fire at the oncoming car. Either action might not result in criminal charges against you, but which is more sensible and more likely to get you home to your loved ones at the end of your tour? Let's say that you ignore your training and the department's policy, and that you stand and fire. How many shots do you think are going to strike the driver? In all probability, the windshield will deflect all or most of the bullets, which could then strike and kill an innocent bystander. But let's assume that one or more of your shots does penetrate the windshield, and the driver is killed or disabled. What have you accomplished? Did your action stop the wheels from rolling? How much time did you spend drawing a firearm and firing? Could it be 2, 3, or 4 seconds? A car traveling at 60 miles per hour is moving at the rate of 88 feet per second, or about half a city block every second. You have lessened the time you have to get out of the way of the car. After you've finished firing and see that the car is still coming at you, what are you going to do? How likely is it that you or someone else will be seriously injured by a car with an incapacitated driver? The department does not consider this to be sensible or wise. Neither should you. In conclusion, I would never support the implementation of a policy that endangers you in any way or limits your ability to do your job safely. I fully expect this policy, coupled with the extensive training you will be given, will provide sound direction to keep you safe, even as you go in harm's way.